Hello, everybody. It's the last day of the regular season, October 1st, and we are live at Milwaukee County Stadium for a doubleheader between the San Francisco Giants and the Milwaukee Braves. Let's take a look at the San Francisco Giants starting lineup for game one of this doubleheader. We got leading off playing second base Chuck Hiller, batting second playing left field Matty Alou. Batting third playing center field is Willie Mays. Batting fourth playing first base is Orlando Cepeda. Batting fifth playing right field is Felipe Alou. Batting sixth doing the catching is Ed Bailey. Batting seventh and playing third base is Jim Davenport. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is Jose Pagan. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is Bill Odell. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the hometown Milwaukee Braves. Did make one change, and when we get down to it from the actual starting lineup here, we got leading off playing right field Lee May, batting second and playing second Frank Boland, batting third and playing third Eddie Matthews, batting fourth and playing center field Hank Aaron, batting sixth and playing first base is Joe Adcock, batting sixth playing left field is Frank Thomas, batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torre, batting eighth and playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. And here's the one change I made to the lineup. Lou Burdette was supposed to start this game, but since the Braves didn't actually make the World Series, I made the change and put Bob Henley in, so Lou Burdette will have enough rest to pitch game two of the World Series between the Braves and the Yankees. So on the mound for game one of this doubleheader will be Bob Henley instead of Lou Burdette. So let's get down to Milwaukee County Stadium and get this game started, folks. We got Carlos, Jamie, and Tim D in the house. So this is Bob Henley's 14th start of the year. He's got a 2.45 ERA. He's 7-4, 3 complete games. First batter he'll be facing is Chuck Hiller, batting .268, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Chuck, and that's going to be a pop-up down the second base. Frank Boland calls for it. Camps under it, waits for it to come down, and makes the catch for out number one. One down here in the top of the first, and one of the loses up, and it's Matty, batting .292 on the year with 2 home runs, 16 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Bob's first strikeout. One down, brings up Willie Mays. Willie batting .305 on the year. He's got 37 home runs, 107 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Boland. And that'll end the inning. Giants, nothing. The Braves coming up, May, Boland, and Matthews. And we got Billy O'Doyle pitching. So be his 14th start of the year also. He's got a 3.76 ERA. He's 9-7, 4 complete games, and he also has 2 saves on the year. First batter he'll be facing is Lee May, batting .235, 16 home runs, 40 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Lee's down on strikes. Billy's first strikeout of the game. Brings up Frank Boland, batting .288. 18 home runs, 79 RBIs. And that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts. Looks like Billy's got it today. 2 up and 2 down on strikeouts. Can he strike the side out? Here's Eddie, batting .304, 37 home runs and 121 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Matthews. And he's not going to strike out the side. That's going to be a nice drive in the center field. Willie Mays goes back, makes a nice catch, robs Matthews of a hit. The Braves go down in order. We get to the second, it's no score. You got Cepeda, Lou, the Felipe type, and Bailey. And Cepeda's batting .300, 37 home runs, 127 RBIs. And that is going to be a nice job. He connects with this one, and that ball is driven in the left center field. Thomas and Aaron goes over. Cepeda's rounding third, headed rounding second, headed for third, and he's going to be in there with a leadoff triple. Cepeda down at third. And here comes Felipe Alou batting .283. Braves will play the infield back, not one to give up a big inning. Here's the pitch to Alou with 26 home runs and 65 RBIs on the year. And that's going to be a base on balls. And Bob here has the first two batters aboard. Brings up Ed Bailey now with first and third. And again, the Braves are still going to play back here. Maybe they can get a double play ball out of Ed Bailey, batting .265, 10 home runs, 46 RBIs. And that's going to be a big swing and a miss, strike three. Second strikeout for Bob. That was a big strikeout. Now he just needs a ground ball double play to get out of this mess by Jim Davenport. Batting .294, 16 home runs, 69 RBIs. And that's a back-to-back strikeouts. Henley 1 out away from getting out of first and third. Nobody out with nobody scoring. It's up to Jose Pagan, batting .285, 4 home runs, 46 RBIs. And that's going to be a pop-up in the shallow left field. In comes Frank Thomas. He makes the catch. And Henley pitches around first and third no-out situation. And the Giants strand too. See if that comes back to bite them in the butt. So we go to the bottom of the second. We got Aaron, Adcock, and Thomas due up here for the Bravos. Oh, Hank's batting .308 with 33 home runs, 124 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that's going to be a base on ball. So Aaron will trot on down the first. Leadoff runner aboard for Joe Adcock. Batting .281 on the year. He's got 38 home runs, 121 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. And that is Billy's third strikeout of the game. Now it's 1 out for Frank Thomas with Aaron down at first. Frank's batting .269, 29 home runs, 87 RBIs. And that's going to be a tailor-made double play. Hit down the Pagan, over to Hiller, over to Cepeda, and that'll end the inning. We're still knotted up at 0-0 here in the third. You got O'Doul due up in the top of the order, and Hiller and Alou. Billy's batting .054 on the year here. He's only 2 for 37. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Bob's 4th strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Chuck Hiller, top of the order. He popped up the Frank Bolin his first time up. And that's going to be a ball 1 to him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Aaron couldn't come in and get that one. It'll bounce in front of him. So Hiller's aboard here with a 1-out single. And here comes Matty. And Matty struck out his first time up. And not this time. That's going to be a base on balls. And they got first and second. And only 1 out for Willie Mays. Can Bob Henley pitch around this mess? Willie grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Slow roller. With Mays' speed, they'll only get the lead runner. Well, they'll get the runner at second, rather. Hiller will get down the third, so it'll be first and third now with 2 outs for Cepeda. Not who you want to see up here if you're a Braves fan. He tripled his first time up. Like I say, he's got 37 home runs, and he's leading the National League with 127 RBIs. Can Bob get him out and keep this a nuttin' game? And that's a yes, he can. That's another ground ball. This one down the second. And Boland's going to toss it over to Mack covering. And that'll end the inning. And again, the Giants leave 2 runners on at first and third. We go to the bottom of the third. We got Torrey, McMillan, and Henley due up here, bottom part of the order. Joe only batting .248, 9 home runs, 44 RBIs. And that's not going to help out. That's a ground ball down to Chuck at second. And that'll be 1 down. Up comes Mack now. McMillan, can he get aboard here, batting .214 with 9 home runs and 55 RBIs? And yes, he can. He squares this one up, folks. And he drives that ball into right field, goes the other way with it. And Felipe gets over there, cuts it off, holds Mack to a single, and brings up Bob Henley. He's going to try to sacrifice Mack down in the second here. Here's the pitch to Bob. And that's going to be a nice bunt, I think. Let's see here. Bob's only batting .032. He's 1 for 31. And that's going to be let's see here. That's going to be a pass ball. That's going to get Mack down there second without even getting the bunt down. So Mack down at second now with a 1 ball, no strike count on Henley. And we're going to let him swing away with a runner down at second. Here's the pitch to Bob. And he's going to come back and strike him out. So now there's a runner down at second and 2 outs for Lee May. And May struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Felipe in right field. That'll end the inning. And the Braves strand one. We get to the top of the fourth. Still no score. We got Felipe, Bailey, and Davenport due up here. Felipe walked his first time up. And he didn't this time. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is gone. Lee May turns around and watches number 27 for Lou leave the park. It's 1-0. And now it brings up Mr. Ed Bailey. He's 0 for 1 today, struck out. Now there's nobody on, still no outs for Mr. Bailey. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews. So Bob settles down after the home run, gets out number 1. Yeah, they are good, Carlos. I agree. Here comes Jim Davenport. He also struck out his first time up. And not this time. Bob can't find the strike zone, walks Jim. So Jim's down at first with 1 out for Mr. Pagan, who flew out to left field his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 outs now with a runner down at first. And here comes Billy O'Dell. See what Billy can do this time. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Lee May. That'll end the inning. But the Giants scored 1 on a Lou home run. We get to the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 G-men. We got Bolin, Matthews, and Aaron due up here. Frank struck out his first time up. See if he can set the table for the big boys. And not this time. That's a ground ball down the short for out number 1. And here comes the big boys, Matthews and Aaron. See if Eddie can get something started here. He flew out the center his first time up. Mays made a nice play, robbed him of a hit. And this is going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 strike on Eddie. And he's going to hit a fly ball out to Matty out in left field. So that's 2 down. So it's up to the hammer here to get something going in the fourth. He walked his first time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Old Hank turns on it. He'll hold up with a single. And that brings up Joe Adcock. And on the first pitch, Aaron's taking off down the second. Here's the throw from Bailey. And Hiller applies the tag, but it's too late. Hank's in there with a stolen base. One strike on Joe Adcock with a runner in scoring position. Can he come through here and tie this ball game up? And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is gone. That is number 39 for Joe Adcock, leading the National League. And 2 RBIs gives the Braves a 2-1 lead. Now there's nobody on in 2 outs for Frank Thomas. The Braves leading 2-1. Frank grounded out his first time up into a double play. And Odell walks him. Looks a little rattled after that home run. That brings up Joe Torre. Like to see him start to get hot here. He grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball. Yeah, that's going to be a single in the center field. And that'll get Frank down the second with 2 outs. So there's Joe Torre getting a base hit here. And that brings up Mac the Knife. No, Mac the Knife. That brings up Roy McMillan, not Mac the Knife. Mac's 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. All this happening here with 2 outs. And that's going to be the final out. They finally get it. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. Pagan over to second. But the Braves scored 2 on the 2-run homer by Joe. And we go to the top of the 5th, the top of the order due up here for the Giants. Heller, Alou, and Mays. Chuck 1 for 2 singled his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Frank. That'll be out number 1. And that brings up Matty. And Matty is 0 for 1. He did walk his last time up, struck out his first time. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Joe Adcock. He calls off. Bob takes it himself for out number 2. That brings up Willie Mays now. And Willie's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field for Mays. Aaron comes in, gets it on the bounce. That brings up Cepeda now. He's tripled in this game. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch to Orlando. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second, bowling over to Mac. Matto in the inning, and the Giants leave 1 on. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We got Henley in the top of the order in. May in bowling. Bob struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Felipe's got it for out number 1. And now we got the top of the order in Lee May, who's 0 for 2, struck out and flew out the right himself. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Cepeda. He touches first for out number 2. So Frank Bowen, can he get aboard again? He walked his last time. Oh, he grounded out his last time up. And he's going to pop this one up in the infield. And Pagan calls for it, makes the catch. And the Braves go 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the 6th. Felipe, Bailey, and Davenport due up. A lose 1 for 1 with a homer and a walk. He's got the only run of the game for the Giants. And he's going to single in the center field, keep his perfect game up. And Aaron gets to it, throws it in, holds him to a single. Here comes Ed Bailey up. And Bailey's 0 for 2. He did strike out and ground out the third his last time up. And that's going to be popped up a mile high. And Mac's waiting for it to come down. It's a rainmaker. It's a little wet, but that's out number 1. That'll bring up Jim Davenport now. He's 0 for 1, struck out and walked. And that's going to be another base on balls for Jim. So now first and second and 1 out for Pagan. Davenport's down at first, Lou down at second. He's 0 for 2, Pagan is. He's flown out and struck out. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. I don't think it's going to be deep enough to get a Lou over. And it's not. Frank gets it in. That makes 2 down here in the 6th. And now here's Billy. Can he help his own cause? Because, you know, we don't need no stinking DH here. He's 0 for 2, though. And he's going to be 0 for 3. Another fly ball to the left. And again, the Giants leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Braves hanging on to a 2-1 lead. We got Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Can they make some noise here and give Bob a little cushion? Eddie's flown out to center and to the left. And he's going to give center field another try. Mays camps under this. It's a can of corn for out number 1. Here comes the hammer and Hank. Henry is 1 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base and came around the score. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that's going to be another fly ball out to center field and another out. 2 up and 2 down. Here's the man with the 2-run homer, Joe Adcock. 1 for 2, struck out and homered. And we dropped the dice, making an official game. And that's going to be a base on balls. Billy don't want nothing to do with him now. So Joe's down at first with 2 outs for Frank Thomas. Let's see what the donkey can do here. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's going to be a Joe Adcock's going to take off. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. Here's the throw down from Ed Bailey, and he's out by a country mile, folks. Joe Adcock is thrown out, stealing to end the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. We got the top of the order due up. Hiller, Lou, and Mays. Chuck's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a ground ball back down to first base for out number 1. Here comes Matty. He's not having a great game here. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews for out number 2. And here comes Willie Mays up now. And he is 1 for 3. He singled his last time up to center field. And that's going to be a base on balls. Flirting with fire here. I think I'd rather pitch to Mays than Cepeda, to be honest with you. Here comes Orlando up. He's 1 for 3 with a triple. He's been on base all 3 times. He's reached on fielder's choices the other 2 times. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. And the Giants are not happy at all. Remember, this is a double hitter game. They're standing at the top of the steps. And they're mumbling, but Bob Henley's thinking, I didn't hit him on purpose. Hell, I just walked Mays. I lost control of that curveball. That brings up Felipe Alou, and I don't think he wanted to hit Cepeda the face of Lou. Alou's figured him out today. 2 for 2 with a walk, a homer, and a single. And he finally gets him out, though. That's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Boland over to second. And again, the Giants will strand, too. We go to the 7th inning stretch. We got Thomas, Torrey, and McMillan due up here. Frank's 0 for 1 with a walk. He was at the plate when Joe Adcock got thrown out trying to steal. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 1. 5th strikeout for Billy. And Joe's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. And that's going to be another base hit for Joe. Joe's heating up, maybe. for these Bravos. That's in the right field. Felipe gets over. Joe makes a wide turn, but he'll head back to first with a single and one out. And Roy's up. He's 1 for 2, singled and reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a 2 balls, no strike count on Mac. And that's going to be a double play ball easily. Pagan's got it. He's up with it over the Hiller, over to Cepeda. And that ends the 7th. It's still a 1-run game as we go to the 8th. You got Bailey, Davenport, and Pagan due up here. Like to get Bob Henley through this 8th inning. He's due to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Ed's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. So the tying runs down at first with nobody out for Jim Davenport. And Jim is 0 for 1 today. He's walked twice and struck out. And he ain't going to strike out this time or walk. That's going to be a base hit in the center field also. And it's first and second because Bailey's not going no further with his speed. So Bob's got himself in a mess again. Here comes Jose. He's flown out the left twice, and he struck out his other time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews. He's going to step on third, fire over to first, and that's going to be a 5-3 double play, folks. And Davenport's going to be down at second with 2 outs. So we got 2 outs with Davenport, and they're going to have a pitch hitter come up here for Odell. See, he's going to come off the bench here. Most of the righties are already in the lineup. Harvey Wallbangers might come out of the dugout. I think that's who it's going to be. Harvey Kuhn's going to come out of the dugout, grab a bat here, try to tie this game up for the Giants with Davenport down at second. Harvey's batting .279 with 7 home runs, 41 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Bob, and that's going to be a ball hit in the right field, and Lee May's going to let that ball play him. It gets by him. Davenport's going to score on the air and tie this ball game up, folks. It's an E9. And Harvey's going to stay put at first. Now with 2 outs and back to the top of the order, Bob Henley's out there, little disgusted, thought he was out of the inning. Now it's a tie ball game, and Chuck's 1 for 4 today. Can he untie this ball game? No, that's going to be a fly ball out to Hank in center field. But the Giants score an unearned run and tie this ball game up. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. See who's going to come out here and pitch for the Giants. Going to have a pitch hitter for Bob, and then a lefty and a righty. See who the G-men want to bring out of the bullpen. Tough game is right, Tim. Yeah. I think Billy Laws is going to come out of the bullpen. Yeah, Billy's going to come out here, try to keep this game tied up at 2 apiece. He'll be facing a pitch hitter for Bob, and then the top of the order. So now let's see who's going to come out here and pitch hit for Bob Henley. Got a righty on the mound. And speaking of Mac the Knife earlier, must have been an omen. Mac the Knife's going to come out here and pitch hit. So here comes Mac Jones out to lead off this inning. Billy Laws, this is his 27th game. He's got a 3.59 ERA. He's 8-8 with 1 save. Mac's batting .272 on the year with no home runs and 6 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Jones. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Mac gets aboard with a pitch hit single. What's going on, Ken? So Jones down at first with nobody out. That brings up Lee May now. Can May get him over there in scoring position? Do the Braves want to bunt him over? I think they're going to let Lee swing away. He's got that opening down there at first. See if he can drive that ball into the gap between first and second. May's 0 for 3. He struck out, flown out, and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field for out number 1. So now it's up to Frank Bolin. Can Frank do something here with 1 out? Frank is 0 for 3 also. He's struck out and grounded out and popped up. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Ken. Appreciate it. And here's the pitch to Frank. And that ball is well hit. Frank squares it up, folks. That ball is driven into the gap in right field. That's going to break the tie. Jones throws on the Jets. And Frank Bolin's going to end up down at second. And it's a 3-2 ball game. Frank Bolin now with a RBI double. And that'll bring up Eddie Matthews. Can he get a little cushion here as Don's up in the bullpen? Going to try to save this game. Now that they got the lead, Matthews is 0 for 3. He's flown out all 3 times, twice to center and once to left. And he's not going to fly out this time. That's going to be a ground ball down the second. That'll get the runner over to third with 2 outs for Hank Aaron. Can Hank give him a little cushion here going into the top of the 9th with Frank down at third? He's 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and a stolen base. He's flew out the center his other time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. But the Braves score 1 on the Frank Bolin double to take a 3-2 lead. Like I say, Don will be coming out of the bullpen trying to nail down this win. He'll be facing Matty Alou. Mays and Cepeda, the heart of the lineup here. And if you've been watching this replay, Don can make these games interesting sometimes. Yeah, good game so far. So let's see here. Where's old Don at? There he is. So Don's going to come in the game and try to get his 39th save of the year. This is McMahon's 52nd game. He's got a 2.22 ERA. He's 1-5 with those 38 saves. Matty's up. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. He struck out, grounded out, and grounded out twice. And not what you want to do here. Here comes McMahon making this interesting. He just walked a Lou for the big boys coming up here. So Matty's down at first. Willie Mays is up. Willie's 1 for 3 with a walk. He's grounded out, reached on a fielder's choice his other 2 times up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Frank Boland's up with it. He tosses it over to Mack, fires over the first, but with Mays' speed, he beats it out. So now we got 1 out. Mays down at first for Cepeda. He's 1 for 3 with a triple, and he's reached base the other 3 times, a fielder's choice twice, and he was hit by pitches last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back down the first. Mays is going to head down the second. Don comes over and covers first for out number 2. That was a big out. Now you got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Felipe Alou's up and having one hell of a game. He's 2 for 3 with a walk and a homer. And he reached on a fielder's choice his other time up. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That ends this ball game, folks. And the Braves win this one 3-2. Take a look here at the box score real quick. Only one more game left. Second game of a doubleheader here. The Giants, 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors. The Braves, 3 runs on 7 hits and an error. Oh, Felipe Alou had a hell of a game, but struck out when they needed him the most. He was 2 for 4. The Giants had plenty of opportunities and squandered them. 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Left 12 men on base. The Braves, Joe Torre went 2 for 3 today. The Braves were only 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Noni left 4 men on base, though. Billy Odell goes 7 innings, gets a no decision, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 5, and gave the home run to Joe Adcock. Billy Lowe's comes in, picks up his 9th loss. He falls to 8-9, pitched 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, struck out 1. Another tight game is right, Tim D. Bob Henley comes in to pitch, so Lou Burdette can pitch in game number 2 of the World Series. He picks up his 8th win and 4 losses, goes 8 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. Walked 5, struck out 5, gave up a home run. Don comes in, gives up that leadoff walk, then comes back and strikes out a Lou with a runner in scoring position and get his 39th save. What time is it here? Might get off here and watch that football game, or should I do the last game of the season? The last game of the season is as quick as this. I'm not sure. I may be back on here in a few minutes to do the last game of the season. See if the Braves can win 100 games. They've won 99. They're 99-55. I want to thank Tim D, Carlos, Ken Castro for stopping in, and Jamie. I believe that was everybody. So I may be back on here in a few minutes, guys. If not, you all have a great evening and take care.